With all this talk of impeachment, I am getting a feeling of déjà vu. We've seen this movie before, just over a year ago, when the world was a bit more normal. But don't worry, this video is not about politics. Let's get back to the photography. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that during the first impeachment hearings, there was one photographer who stood out from the rest of the crowd. While others were snapping hundreds of pictures by the hour, this photographer was taking a much more slower, more deliberate approach, taking pictures on a wooden camera, coming away with just 16 exposures at the end of the day. Who is this man, and why is he covering a major media event with a wooden camera in the 21st century? This is David Burnett, and he's no ordinary photographer. He's covered the Vietnam War, the Iran Revolution, Hurricane Katrina, the Chilean coup, and this is actually the third impeachment that he's photographed. He's won several awards for his work, including World Press Photo of the Year, Magazine Photographer of the Year, the Robert Capa Gold Medal, and many more. But why the wooden camera? This is the Aero Liberator, a custom-made piece of gear made from a retrofitted Graflex large format camera. Burnett began shooting on these types of cameras later in his career and started off with the Graflex Speed Graphic in 2003. The first Graflex Speed Graphic camera was developed in 1912, and it was the go-to choice for press photographers during the first half of the 20th century. Some of the most iconic images of the past century were shot on this camera. If you read some of the interviews with David Burnett, you can see a number of reasons why he's chosen to use these vintage cameras in modern settings. First of all, the process of shooting this kind of camera appeals to him. It forces him to slow down. For every film holder that he loads into the camera, he only gets 2 shots. So he has to become a master of anticipation and time his pictures to minimize wasted shots. He's more in the moment because he can't check the back of his camera screen after every picture. These are things that anyone who shoots film nowadays on analog cameras would tell you. It's one of the reasons why film photography has become more popular during the past 5 years. The fact that you have to think and plan ahead before you shoot makes it much more rewarding when you actually end up getting a decent shot. So that's a bit about the process, but not only does the way he shoots stand out from the crowd, but so do the resulting images. His images are exposed on large format film, so instead of tiny 35mm rolls, you have these huge 4x5 inch sheets to work with. It's a larger surface, so you have greater detail in the images and a wider tonal range. The large format film, along with the particular camera he uses, results in his work having the characteristic large format look. And this look is a combination of a shallow depth of field with a wide angle shot. So you have a blurry background, but not in a close-up portrait setting where you usually see it, but in a wider field of view. You don't see these kinds of pictures often from photojournalists because photojournalists are supposed to objectively document an event, so there's a focus on sharpness and clinical detail. But Burnett's large format photographs have an ethereal, almost dreamlike character. And this character is the kind of look you can get from using these large format cameras. But what if you don't have a large format vintage camera? Well, consider this video a teaser. In my next upload, I'm going to show you how to replicate this look using your average digital camera. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you on the next one.